We're all just rat people anyway.
We are humans, Noonie.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Magical Bro Transformation Podcast, episode 15, where we're going to be doing a review and discussion about Shin Sekai Yori, or From the New World. Joining me this week is going to be a plethora of people. We got the normal guys, Juan, Mike, and back again, Mando.
Hey, how's it going?
With our special guest, Jose, from our Discord. Or from
from Discord.
From Discord.
from lands unknown.
From lands unknown. From Team Speaks far gone in the future.
From across the street.
Across the street. God. But if you haven't watched this, if you haven't listened to this podcast before, what we usually do is we pick an anime from the episode previous. Usually they're going to be random unless we talk about it beforehand, much like we did for this one. And not this specific one. This one, Shin Sekai Yori, was random, but the one that we're going to do next. But we pick the anime, we review it, discuss it, rate it, see how we liked it and whatnot. Usually, I try and pick an anime that at least one person has seen previously and try and make it so that there's enough of a gap for them to see how much they like it more or dislike it more. And every episode comes out every 2 weeks, usually, or hopefully from now on Tuesdays. You could find the podcast on Stitcher Radio, Google Play, iTunes, or SoundCloud, your pick. And before we get into anything else, how have you guys been?
Good.
I've been okay.
Mike,
I'm just doing what I always do, just watch anime, play video games. I've been watching some more anime. Like, for the past couple of days, I've actually sat down and watched a bunch of shit, like, for a few hours. So that's a nice thing to start doing again.
what was the one that you said that you just finished last night?
Noragami. I finished season 2 last night, and the day prior, I watched, like, the first season.
How was that?
It's pretty good. I love the music. Like, the music is fucking great. Like, not just the opening and endings, but the OST for like the whole series is really good. I also read the manga, but I wasn't as like a big a fan of the manga as I was the anime. And usually it's like the exact opposite. So that was weird.
I had to get a tire changed, and had
Why?
to. Well, I've been having this problem with my car where a while ago, like, a noise started happening whenever you reach certain speeds, and it's annoying as hell. And when I took it to my dad and my brother came to the conclusion that it was most likely the bearing, and I should probably get that looked at, because right now it's all right. It's just noisy, but after a while, it could get to the point where the wheel could just fly off. And he just says, yeah, just take care of that eventually. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So I feel like after I came back from, what was it? From your place, from San Angelo, I was speeding down the streets. And when I came back, I felt like the car was a bit wobblier than usual. So I went to go take it to a tire place. Because I also had a flat on one of my other tires, so they fixed a flat. They picked up the car, and when they picked up the car, they were like, well, there's your problem, you got a ball in your tire. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I gotta buy a new fucking tire. And I bought a new tire, and they said, yeah, that's also most likely the cause of your problem, and you probably won't hear any of that noise anymore. And I said, all right. And they were Mexican, so it's weird that they sounded, Southern.
You'd be
But
surprised.
I've been to Oklahoma. I've been surprised before. And
Sound like hillbillies over there.
a little bit. It's weird.
I don't mean to sound, mean or whatever, but I
don't
have
mean
relatives
to-
up there, and they sound weird, and it's weird when they got last names like Rodriguez and stuff, and they're like, "Hello, cousin."
And I have some relatives up there, kind of relatives by law or by church law.
By law.
by church law, I have relatives up there, and they were raised in a Spanish household, and their Spanish is like pretty good. And then I hear them speak English, and I'm like, whoa, man, I want to go fishing with dynamite right now. But yeah, as soon as I got the car back on the road, I was like, all right, now I'm ready to go to Austin next week for a dream hack. And then the noise started again immediately, and I was like, well, I guess I have to take care of this eventually. So I got to spend another 60, 70, 80 bucks for, them to check it out and tell me what's wrong with it, and then hopefully replace the thing that's wrong.
Yeah, spending money is fun.
Yeah. I was supposed to buy an SSD for my computer, but that
Nah, you need tires.
I was gonna buy a
need
motherboard,
tires.
but then I spent it on other things.
Your tires can't record this podcast.
You're not wrong.
Or can they?
I mean, how do records work?
You know what? I just bought one, so yeah, your tire can record this podcast.
You just have to melt it really good.
Scratch it with this needle
Yeah.
as you talk into the needle.
I'm not even gonna ask. How do records work?
Yeah, it's basically just that.
You scratch
so what it is
into it and
yeah,
talk into
it
it.
scratches. Yeah, the vibrations of like the audio are scratched into it. And then so what happens is like the process is reversed whenever you're listening to it. The needle just basically vibrates and picks up the frequencies. How it does like left and right and fucking bass and highs, I have no fucking idea.
No,
That's a whole.
it's a little
theory.
it's a little gift from God, Mando. Jesus came to this earth.
It's
to give
one
us
of those
no
things
peace.
you don't question and you just accept, and you're like, "This is cool."
No, I think it has something to do with horizontal and vertical movement. but-
Whoa!
I'm
Now
not
you're
entirely
getting
sure.
way too deep into this, Mando. This ain't no record playing
geometry.
podcast.
It's simple geometry.
All right, so how'd you guys first hear about this anime? Was it just something that you stumbled across because you're like, "Hey, this is new this season," or did you actually?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened for me. I
Well,
was like,
Seth showed it to me, and that's the whole reason why I told him to be in the podcast.
Yeah, and I just watched it because I just like watching stuff.
I think I saw like a preview for it, and then I also used to be like, I'd look at those big ass charts for like what comes out during the season or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like I saw that, and I was like, well, let's give this a go, and that was that.
Mike and Mando told me. Mike told me because it sounds like it's like The Giver, so that was interesting. And Mando just keeps playing the song over in his
Yeah,
It's a
I
very
only
good
play
song.
it in order
It's
to
a
fucking
great song.
brainwash
It's a
Juan and
pretty
make
good
him
song.
listen to it because everything's about Juan.
So what you're telling me, Juan, is that you watched it for the podcast.
Yes.
All right, because that's the reason that I watched it.
Well, no, Mike's been telling me about it for a long time. Just that,
You
Until
just never got
recently.
around to it.
yeah, until recently did I watch the anime for this
Right.
podcast.
And that's basically the whole reason I made the podcast was because I need a reason to watch this anime. Otherwise, I'm just gonna not watch it.
The
And it-
specific anime.
Yeah,
It's like I need a reason. I'm just gonna wait for the roulette to
to pick it.
land on it.
And every once in a while, I rig it to something that I've told Nuni to watch before.
I believe it. All right, so the basic synopsis is people have powers and they
Uh-huh.
use powers.
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z's.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
They all have psychic abilities.
Yeah, you're introduced to this little world. Well, I guess the first thing that you see is a little
It's like a flashback
misleading?
of like modern society.
because I didn't read anything or look into anything because usually whenever I do this, or specifically the ones for this anime, for this podcast, I like going in blind. So when I saw a little kid blowing up heads, I was like, oh, so is this like Elfen Lied? Which we'll bring up later. But I was expecting something completely different, and then when I saw the little ceremony that was going on, I was like, oh well, okay. Let's see where this story takes me, and it took me on an adventure around the world of Japan.
I mean, it was more of like a little village in Japan.
Nah, they went all around Japan. They went from like this one village all the way to Tokyo, and then
Back.
yeah,
And then back.
Don't forget everything in
never got
between.
there.
And then that creepy ass centipede.
and then that creepy ass centipede.
God, that thing was fucking terrifying. The first time I saw it, I was like, holy fuck. That is the stuff of nightmares.
I guess I should have said this in the intro also. We usually get into spoilers in this podcast. I'll probably just copy and paste or cut and paste this sometime in the beginning. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in watching this and are like, oh, I don't want anything spoiled because I'm gonna watch it later for some reason, and you're listening to this, stop.
Well, it's too late. It was all a dream.
It's too fucking like they were dreaming. I mean, you're actually not that far off because their dreams are what fueled this.
Yeah.
Whoa, Mike. Whoa.
Whoa. Is it?
Sort
Yes.
of.
When they
part of it.
dream,
Conscience.
when you dream, their cantus increases and the limiter can't apply to them. So it leaks out from their little village and affects the entire world around them.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
knew
how,
that
like,
it
all
would
those
leak out,
mutations-
and I knew that it affected everyone around them, but I never read anything about that happening when they dream. I just thought that it was constantly happening subconsciously.
It is
Well, it
subconscious,
does.
but it's
But
most
it just
powerful.
happens stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even
Yeah.
stronger when they're sleeping.
No.
Don't
So-
let your dreams be dreams.
Is that why
They were more than.
So yeah, you're introduced to this person in the modern world,
shit.
and then it suddenly goes back into the current era of the story. And when I first saw it, I thought it was not necessarily feudal Japan, but some kind of old school style.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize that it was 1,000 years into the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 1,000 years
Yeah.
into the future.
Yeah. and it does this a lot of like in the first 3 episodes.
What? Where it's like
Where-
going back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time skipping.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
because
is-
they're telling stories of like other people and other times and like pretty
Yeah.
much like how like a few of the societies that sprung up like in between what happened in the first episode and now.
Which is pretty cool.
And it threw me off because I was thinking that all of the time skips were in the future. Because like Saki would be like, I knew I should have killed Maria, and then they would show like a time skip. I was like, what the fuck? Why are they showing this?
Yeah, I actually no, I agree. I remember thinking that too the first time I saw it. I thought like when it showed the one with the emperor where he's like, the first 100 people who stopped clapping died. I thought like because I thought it was like a stepping thing. Like first it was modern society, then it showed that little village, and then even further were these emperor people, and I was like, Jesus Christ, things are not getting better for these people.
Yeah, I actually thought it started. I thought it was gonna go back into, in quotes, modern times and cars and shit. And first, I thought that this was somehow like leading up to a story that somehow affected the modern times until I realized that that was.
I
that
thought
was
we
was
would.
like- This was the build up towards the PK.
the
or
peak.
like the
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
Yeah,
the
PK.
power.
The power.
I thought they were gonna go back to modern times too, and like kind of like go over what actually happened and like more of the people getting slaughtered left and right and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was really hoping that would happen.
But they
but it
don't.
didn't.
I was like really excited every time they kept talking about Tokyo. They're like, "We're going back to Tokyo. We're going back to Tokyo," and I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be cool."
Mike's like expecting Akimara and shit. And he's like, yeah.
No, dude, it wasn't even that. I was expecting there to be like some
Like
form
crazy
of
shit.
like Yeah, and that
Some,
and
like,
like
toppled-
society or
Yeah,
like
that's
some like string group of people still living there and shit that are like super fucking strong.
Mike just wanted shitty zombies.
I didn't actually. I thought there was gonna be more fiends. Honestly,
Yeah, I thought when that one cool looking rat man was telling them about like the monsters and bad things that are there. I thought everything
Yeah.
was gonna be a lot cooler.
Kuromaru?
Yeah. Cool
Yeah.
rat man that covered himself in
Cool.
butt
cool
shit.
rat man. I kept
And
thinking he was gonna
was the
betray them
coolest.
Yeah.
throughout the whole fucking thing. I was like, this
Nah,
dude's gonna
that guy was-
stab him in the back.
And it's weird. He's like the only one that looks like them. Everyone else looks all fat and disgusting.
Dude, it's 'cause
Everybody
he's
else actually
fucking
looks like
top
naked
of the
mole rats.
species.
Dude, he was a samurai.
Alpha male.
Juan, did you see him when he took off his clothes? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
You can't
Yeah.
expect
was
everybody to look like that.
I was like, shit, he's jacked. Why is everybody why
fucking you like compare Yokomaru and Kiromaru, and it's just like what? Like what happened here, man?
Another thing I liked about that was that like they gained names like that when they were like as like an honor, like they were favored by the fucking PK users.
Yeah, I thought that was cool and demeaning. /
It is
demoralizing.
demeaning. I mean, their lives were
Your
demeaning.
name
Yeah.
is Toby.
Your name is Toby. Yeah, dude, it was basically like that. Like I remember when they're like, we removed Squealer's name because he's a faggot, and so he fucking lost his
And
title
let's
and
face
shit.
it, Squealer is fucking stupid.
Let's face it, Squealer's fucking mentally retarded. He can't do anything right.
Oh god. When they first ran into him, I didn't think that he was actually going to be such a big part of the story.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. I thought he was
Yeah,
gonna be
you
like
don't
a
think
one-off
I
thing
did-
or
I didn't
help
either.
them.
But I really hated him. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like his character overall. Like, it seemed like they wanted you to hate him.
Yeah.
Like right from the beginning, they make him like shady as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Like, I mean, all the rats were shady. Like, even the other dude, the jacked samurai man. I kept Kuromaru. Like, I kept thinking he's gonna betray them. He's gonna fucking
Yeah.
kill them.
Yeah,
And
like
the show does, it does like little like scenes where you see him like smiling at the end. when they're, like, talking.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm
And
gonna betray these guys.
like
And
it
the show
keeps,
does it on purpose to try to trick you. I
Yeah, to
guess.
fuck with
Yeah.
you, and it works.
It's
And I'm
fucking
just like,
assholes.
God damn
Well-
it, they did it.
Well, in the end, he did say that he
Yeah, he
did
did
go to
want
Tokyo
to.
to like,
Yeah.
to like defeat the humans.
yeah, because they were
Yeah,
being
that
oppressed.
was in the past though.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
like,
it's okay
what,
now.
What he means is like in relative to like the events that were happening now.
Yeah.
And-
You thought that like, oh man, this guy's fucking with them, and then it's like, nope, no, it's not. Okay.
Didn't he admit when they were having like that final battle or whatever, where he's like, I thought about fucking you guys over a few times,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
did.
do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I really thought about it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I really like when you first meet the rat people. I like that they introduced him as like some kind of monsters. Like they introduced him in the same way as like the humans see them, like somebody that you are kind of wary towards and like slightly don't like because you're like, man, all of these guys fucking suck and they're just fighting and doing stupid shit for no reason.
Yeah.
And then at
The
the
worst
end,
part
you
was that,
sympathize
like,
with them.
The worst part was that the PK users were like sanctioning wars between the rat races. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, well, we want to start a war with this clan. And they'd be like, all right, I approve. And then they'd fucking have someone overseeing them slaughter one another. Like, goddamn, dude. But then again, they were taught to revere the PK users as gods. But even
Yeah.
then, that's fucked up.
That's pretty fucked.
I mean,
at
what else
first-
could they do? They're fucking rats. These guys can
Yeah.
fucking kill them.
They were rats, Mondo.
They're
They
not
weren't
rats,
just
Mondo. They're people, damn it. They're you and
Vegan.
me.
I mean,
Well,
They're
they
bonobos.
were
well,
maybe at one
they're
point, but
presiding
not
over the
now.
wars, but they're not like
They're not
They're not-
interfering, but
yeah,
they're
not
still-
doing it for entertainment, but it's just like, okay, you wanna fight, okay, here's an arena.
Go play, kids.
Yeah.
It, the,
It's mostly
the,
because it's like their laws. Just like you can't be fighting with each other unless we approve it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, because like they need them for like jobs and stuff. So,
Yeah,
like,
'cause
you can't
I
say,
remember-
"Oh, we need
I-
you guys."
I remember them saying like that the battles couldn't be like too one-sided or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And at first, when they were calling them gods, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I get it. It's because they have powers or whatever. And it wasn't until
Yeah.
later that I was like, oh, man, that's fucked up. They probably just
Yeah.
made them call them gods, and they were like, worship us, you fucking rats.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I don't know if it was the database thing that explained it to him too, where they were doing the same thing to like all normal people, basically. That like the PK users rose up and they're like, we're better than everyone now.
Yeah. Because
they like forced.
I think the encyclopedia actually like said I refuse to answer that. Like I don't know, by the something commission, I can't answer that or something like that.
Yeah, like the information was blocked by the I think the education committee or something.
Yeah, and it was like way later on that they kind of explained like the whole suppression and basically what hinted at them turning humans into rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then what I think, I don't remember correctly, but I think Tokyo was like, they had all those underground labs and shit that were made specifically, like they were working on if they needed to actually kill the PK users.
Right,
that's where
yeah,
they
like
found
the regular humans.
Yeah, the regular humans were in Tokyo and they got fucking destroyed.
They got fucking destroyed, but
they got fucking turned into rats.
They got turned into rats.
And it was only because the PK users were like, man, these guys could just kill with no problem. We got to do something about this because they could just kill us.
So I didn't really catch this when I was rewatching it, and I guess probably when I watched it the first time too. But how exactly was like that death of shame implanted? Was it something like
I think it
was
something
biologically engineered, or
it was something that was like engineered within them, over the course of like centuries. It was like a blood thing.
No, they said that they modified their own genes with the
themselves did it.
So that they would so to stop themselves, and at the same time they did that, they turned everybody who wasn't PK user into a rat.
Into rats.
Yeah. And then it wasn't just a genetic thing. It wasn't just a genetic thing. It was also like a mental thing, because like they taught them like from very early on, you can't be doing that shit.
Yeah, because if you kill people, like this magical rainbow will appear, and you know the time and Earth itself would split in half or something like that.
And the weird thing is, like, a lot of the shit they said that happened when you turned into a fiend was a product of them putting that in their mind. Like, a lot of these issues were placebo, and it caused those things to happen. Like, I don't think Shun would have snapped if like he hadn't been taught that that's how fiends are.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
we said Shun snap was like
because he was having that power leak, right?
And yeah, that was a problem, and also because they did an experiment on their group where they didn't brainwash them completely like they did everybody else.
Oh, that's right.
So all of them were a lot more susceptible to being turned into demons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he was too woke.
I kind of feel like what happened to Shun maybe is like sort of like the same thing that like a psychopath would go through. Like I don't know, it just seemed like he had like these like weird symptoms of like schizophrenia or some shit like that, and like that's why he was like doing all that fucked up shit to the egg or something like that.
Was he doing fucked up shit to the egg? I know it was implied because the egg woke up.
No, like it was like when
he was forcing it to hatch, and then he was doing
he made like this weird like disgusting abomination thing like that when it broke.
I think that was an accident though.
Yeah, I feel like it was an accident.
I think that was an accident. Like he was trying to do it correctly, but like since it's like
he couldn't control it as much, and he just made it like a fucked up thing.
What was really weird though is that like when he was doing that, and the dude came in, and he was like, "Something is wrong with this young strapping lad." He was like laughing like arrogantly and shit, and so I don't know, like he knew.
No, it was fucked up. Like it was more a face of disgust, I think, but like I think with himself.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I mean, I guess what I was getting at is that like because he wasn't brainwashed, he kind of like became susceptible to, you know, just deterioration of like the mind of
what
can normally happen to regular people.
I agree with that because like like he was living in the society with everybody else, but like I guess he started seeing like little faults here and there with it or whatever, and then like they were constantly telling him like, yeah, you're really fucking strong, Shin, and you know, is saying that shit, and I guess eventually things got to him, and like he couldn't really deal with it like everybody else can because he wasn't like brainwashed up the ass like everyone else.
And he was having guy problems.
He was having guy problems.
He was like, man, I like my gay guy, but I also want this side chick.
I really like Saki, but I really love that other dude a lot.
I mean, hold on. Let me display my exhibitionism real quick. Let me look at her while I fucking make out with this guy real quick.
Right? That was so weird.
It was
That
so
was
out of
definitely the
nowhere
worst
where
episode.
like you're fine, everything's kind of like, well, this is a neat concept. Then you get to episode 8 and suddenly gay. And it's not like even a subtle thing where it's like, oh, you know, they were holding hands or they did like gentle kisses or like sensual hugging. Like they're just straight out fucking making out like in the bushes, and then
No.
the girls were making out.
No,
Yeah,
I was gonna ask, did it ever explain like why they would pair out like homosexually as opposed to, you know, mixing between boy or girl?
It was just
Yeah,
experimentation.
bonobos.
It was just experimentation.
they were basically
I
relating
think that's
back
part
to
of the
Bonobos.
brainwashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just,
Bonobos.
you know, to be a proper human being, you gotta experiment on both sides.
I think what it was though, no, is it was explained more of like because like their society is like kind of relaxed, you know, and they're basically like brought up into like this utopia type of thing where like, oh, like, you know, nothing wrong happens to us or anything like that. It's like they become a society of love is what they said.
Yeah.
And so essentially they become focused on caring for each other is what it is. And I think that's why what I don't understand is why they were like, all right, let's make them gay instead of just, you know, let's make them let's make them like each other.
Bonobos actually do that. They don't do that out of stress because in the anime they say like
Whenever the
humans
bonobos
are
feel
stressed. Oh,
Yeah.
not
Stress that
the
they-
bonobos, but like when the humans get stressed, they, you know,
they want to fuck.
that genetic gene switches and they want to fuck. But actually, bonobos,
It's a social
like,
thing.
it's a social thing. They have sex with a guy on guy, girl on girl, like young and old. Like they just
like
go at
it's-
it.
Don't even fucking matter.
I think it's like a handshake for them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like-
basically,
Yeah.
basically.
they're all just bros. They're all cool.
Because when they talked about like the bonobos in that episode, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. I know where this
And
exactly
then
this is
episode
going.
8 came out.
Dude,
Like, go
no.
on.
I think the best part about that is when Saki's trapped with fucking what's his name in the
Satoru?
rat,
Yeah.
and they're in the rat colony, and then like
And
she
then-
starts coming on to
yeah,
him, and
then-
he's like, "Oh yes, I've had a crush on you forever," and then she's like, "No, we can't do this together," and he's like, "No, no."
He didn't. She didn't say that. She was just like, all right,
Nah.
I'm just gonna stop now.
Yeah,
No,
no, she
it
said
was him that was coming up to her, but like,
Yeah.
That's
she didn't want to do it because like from hearing
She,
like the
she crushed. She had a crush on what's his face, and she didn't want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like,
She didn't want to be a monkey.
Yeah, she started
just
thinking
kept
about
She's like,
remembering
"We're
that
better
she
than
was a
this."
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept saying that they had to be better than their instincts. And he's
Yeah,
like,
and that's part of like the thing, the experiment, that they weren't being fully brainwashed.
yeah. And the experiment was like also so that they can put them in like the higher echelons of the society, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think what it was
And
is
It was. I feel like it was just an experiment.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's because they were also seeking to place them in the higher
Right.
areas because the people that run the society can't be the same as the people that are a part of the society.
Yeah, but I think this is just a byproduct of them doing.
Oh yeah, no,
experiments.
they were definitely fucking around, but I'm saying that like they were also like, well, if they don't kill each other or die, we can
Yeah, it
use
might
them
be
to
a cool
replace
thing.
us.
I think it was
Yeah.
planned though, because I remember like a conversation that Saki was having with the elder. She said that she specifically chose her group because of her.
Wow.
And so it was like, oh, well, like this kid's different. So I'm gonna, you know, do this for this group because I need her.
That old chick was crazy, dude. She was like, "Oh yes, I fuck
She
with
was the
my
best.
genes, and I am ancient." I was like, "Man, that's cool."
Fuck,
I bet you're wondering why I look
276-year-old.
so fucking young.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Because at first, when they introduced her, I was like, "That's not his fucking grandma. They just implanted some more fake memories into their fucking heads or something." And then she explained it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
She's
Yeah.
just a young, hot looking
She's a
grandma.
She's like,
I was
all the-
tripped
Yeah,
out.
and it's weird because like they ask her, "How old do you think I look?" And she's like, "I think you
I
look
think he looks
67."
60. Fuck no, she
Yeah.
doesn't
And I was
look
like, "She looks
67.
like 20 something."
Yeah, dude, she did not look 60.
But I guess it was
Yeah.
just alright.
One of
She
those
was-
hot
but
young
How old
Pornhub
did she say
grandmas.
she was? Like a couple hundred?
200.
200. Yeah, like
267.
200.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm surprised you got the last two digits right."
Yeah.
You're 200 years off.
What I didn't quite understand about that though was if she was supposed to be Satoru's grandma, How old is his mom?
She is everybody's
that's what I mean.
grandma.
Like, it doesn't mean she had the kids like when she was young. She
Oh, that's
probably
true.
had the
Yeah,
kids
she
when
could
was
have just
young.
had her when she's like 100.
like
she was a
40
young,
years
spry,
ago.
100 years old.
Dude, she regenerated her
40 years
pussy.
ago or something
She
like
tricked
that,
some
you
guy into thinking she was still a virgin. She was like,
Dude,
"Oh,
that's
this is
pretty-
my
She
first
regenerated
time."
her pussy. Is that what you
Yeah.
Dude, how young could she make herself appear though? That's
She's
the
an ancient
how,
cougar.
What is the limit of her abilities? What is the limit of her abilities?
Sorry, what you're saying is that she should have been a lolly.
Yes.
She should have been a 500-year-old lolly. With
You're
the
saying
ability to
this like I'm gonna
fucking-
say no.
With the ability to fucking repair hymen.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Mike just wanted a little girl to come out and be like, "Hello, I'm his grandma," and then no, it's okay, guys. I'm 267 years old.
That's so much to ask for.
No, Mike, you're not asking for enough. You need her to be dressed all scantily clad because that's how the village dresses their royalty or something. Speaking of lollies, that girl in the beginning, in the first episode, until they mentioned her later on, I completely forgot that she actually existed. So I guess that episode did its job.
Saki's sister?
Yeah, his sister, because she was pretty much wiped from everybody's memories. So
Yep.
so it's funny that she shows up in the first episode as a silhouette, pretty much, and then she's gone, and they don't remember. And then later on, you're like, wait, wasn't there another girl?
Yeah. That was like, I don't know. I didn't remember that mostly just because I have a hard time paying attention to shows like within the first 2 episodes. And so yeah, that worked really well for me.
I mean,
Oh my God, they're right.
I watched the first
You go back
episode.
to, oh my gosh, she is there.
I watched the first episode like 1 week, and then I skipped a week, and I started the second episode. And when I got like near the end earlier today, I was like, wait, what? What do they mean, fucking 6 people? There have been 5 people this whole time.
Yeah, what made me go back was there was actually a flashback to that scene where like it's dark outside and they're looking out from the hill, and I was like, when the fuck was that girl there? And then I go back to the first episode and I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I mean, what was it again? Why was she taken? She showed no aptitude, I think.
She's
Yeah,
useless,
she was
this
just shitty. She
Yeah,
was
she
just
was
kind of
just,
bad at her powers.
And they just get rid of everybody who's shit.
one. Like
Yeah.
the giver.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, yes, right? That's kind of what they did in The Giver. Because
Well, I mean, it's
They killed them.
yeah,
they would euthanize
I mean,
the babies.
they made.
too.
I'm assuming that they made them into rat people.
Hmm.
I want to assume. I want to assume.
No, the cats would murder them.
Yeah, the
that's
cats
true.
yeah.
kill them.
Man,
Cats would just kill them.
I wanted them to just seal up their powers and turn them into rat people, and that would have made me happy.
I kept
It
wishing
was not
Saki-
Saki's sister.
Yeah,
I
it
kept
wasn't.
wishing
Yeah.
Saki would get stronger.
Right?
Like you know, they kept saying that she had talent, but her talents were more like utility style, I guess. She wasn't very
that was just
good.
mental
in the-
fortitude.
Yeah, she was strong.
Yeah, there you go.
It'd be
was
like
mental.
Claymore. She would turn into a fiend, not really a fiend, and then Rocky would just come in and hug
No,
her.
we lost that person when Shun sealed himself off in the fucking
Man,
in the other world. That was Shun, and Shun is gone now.
The person
when
that
when she started hearing him though, that was something.
I'm in
Yeah.
your heart.
I thought he like was still alive, but like he implanted like his consciousness inside of her, and I was
I
like,
mean,
God damn, dude.
It could be.
Yeah. I
Kingdom
feel like
Hearts.
half the people who watch the show probably thought, "Oh my God, he's alive all along."
That's what I thought. I was like,
They
oh
showed
my
up at the
god.
ending.
And
They're
he
like,
just
no,
shot-
where
no,
he's
he's there.
and Shin running.
No, at the end when they're in Tokyo and like she sees him at the
Yeah,
end.
he's like
I mean,
standing
he was,
on the
like, running
rubble
and
and
she
he's
starts
making her
chasing
follow him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was all
But,
just in her head.
Yeah, it was really just a fucking wolfman rat.
It
They
was just
pulled
a
the
really-
page off of Kingdom Hearts.
It was also like, I mean, it was pretty much like an after image because like they had all forgotten that Shun existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the person that I did want to get stronger was Satoru, and I actually thought that he was going to get a lot stronger, considering all the shit that he did when he was a
Yeah.
kid in the forest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man, this guy's fucking amazing as this little fucking kid. I can't wait to see him as a grown up, and
He
like,
just turns into a
stays the
fucking
same.
researcher.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
fucking becomes a biologist.
He
He
becomes
becomes
a
a
fucking
fucking
loser.
biologist.
He becomes a marine biologist, and then
I like
Well,
how
at least
he
he
was
got
the
the
only
girl.
one to actually figure out that they were people too. Like he was the only one that would like put it
That
together
bothered.
despite it being in front of everybody. Yeah, he was just sitting in his room and he's like,
Wait a
rat
minute.
people equals people. Oh no! and then he goes and tells Saki, and she's like, "Don't worry about it." And he's like, "Okay."
Okay. I can only
guess.
assume it's because they didn't brainwash him, right?
yeah, it's because they're the only two that like had that much exposure. I'm pretty sure like the old lady probably knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, all the people
the
in the
entire
upper,
like ministry. Yeah, the board. Of
yeah,
Education.
the entire ministry, the board of education knew, like, they had to have known because
Yeah.
they're the
Board of
one that have
Ethics.
access to the library. But then again, there's like areas of the library that nobody had access to. I think.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
probably just like the
Shit that
top
they
people.
burned
Like,
too during
Yeah.
the whole commotion.
Man, I also thought that like arrogant war loving guy was gonna be a lot cooler too, and until he got shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just took a fucking bullet to kill you.
Wait, which guy?
Huh?
Which guy?
Big balls
The-
around neck guy.
yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like long mustache, and he
Yeah.
was like dancing around,
Yeah.
playing his drums.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, the shame."
The shame.
Like, yeah, I'd be shamed too.
He was
Couldn't
talking-
even make a
No,
fucking
like-
barrier.
If you want to talk about disappointments, let's talk about the great legendary warrior with double pupils.
double pupil
Oh,
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So evidently, the double pupil is a sign that your PK is fucking ridiculously powerful.
Is it?
And it was something like that. Like I forgot how they
Yeah.
explained it, but it has something to do with like your PK is like so advanced that like you start showing mutations.
Oh.
And yeah, the double pupil thing was his thing. And like people hyped him up and they kept saying like, "Oh dude, he can fucking split the earth in half and he can do all sorts of shit." And so like the
Yeah.
entire series, I was like, "Dude, I want to see him fight." And so sure enough, he finally gets to fight the offspring of two of
ogre.
Saki's classmates that were murdered by fucking Squealer. And I was like, "Dude, he's gonna fucking kill that kid." And then he gets insta-give, like he just fucking dies. I was like, "Are you like?" And he shows up and he's so confident, he's floating in the air, and he's like, "I'm gonna stop you for justice." And then he dies.
Yeah, like when that whole scene was playing out, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, like this guy's gonna protect us and everything." And like Satoru was like explaining to Saki, like, "We gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta leave right now." And she's like, "No, he's doing it." And then he was
He's
like, "No, it's just a joke. It's just a bluff to try to buy us time."
Oh yeah, because I
Yeah,
remember
just a
he
prank.
was yeah, because when he was when he was
Yeah.
fighting the kid, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm so much stronger than you," but he's like fucking sweating bullets. He's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I was expecting was like at least like for him to like just fight.
Yeah, well, like
And,
order off
like-
for
and
enough
then,
time
like,
for people to escape.
Right, and then them to leave, and then like him
Yeah.
to just die off like somewhere in the background. But no,
Yeah.
he
No,
just
he
fucking
just-
died right then and there.
Right
Yeah.
there in front of him. By this
I
stupid
remember
shit.
the first time I saw this, I was like, yeah, it was really annoying. I was like, why? And the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, I get it. It's just part of the brainwashing. He literally couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
It's
he
just-
couldn't,
it's just
like,
to
he just-
reinforce.
And there's something you can do about getting set on fire because you can't stop somebody from controlling yourself.
Yeah. It was just like I don't know. It was just a disappointment because like I had been waiting at the first time I saw it, like just to see him fight, and then he just gets fucking destroyed by a kid that has no limiter.
Just fucking laughing at him. And
Just la-
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
He's just fucking laughing.
She was
it's
like
just
their little
something to say,
dog.
like-
Oh,
Like,
actually,
Power's just really bad at defense. It's
well,
just really bad at defending yourself.
wow. I guess while we're talking about the ogre, I don't know if this was just the subs that I was watching or what, but they were referring to the ogre like in the beginning as a he, and then like towards the end they
Yeah,
were referring
yeah,
to
and then it turned
as
into a
her.
she. I think
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
misconception, like because they initially thought it was a boy. Because
Yeah, I guess so,
yeah.
but It was really
Yeah.
like, it threw me off because I was like, I could have sworn it was a girl, and then like they kept showing it, and I was like, well, I guess it does look like kind of like a boy.
Well, I think
And then
Saki
they
was
were
the
like,
one that
"It's a
figured
she."
it out.
Yeah,
That it was a
everybody
she.
thought it. Yeah, I think people just assumed it was a he because they couldn't really get a look because they would die.
Yeah, they
But,
But
just
like
fucking
since
died.
after Saki actually got a good look at her, and like they're like, oh yeah, it's a girl, and they started calling her she after that.
Yeah, they're just using he as a gender neutral.
Yeah. I thought the way they made the ogre die was pretty clever, where they
Yeah.
made them realize that they were killing humans.
Oh yeah. I kind of thought that
Because
was gonna happen a
Squealer,
lot sooner though.
yeah, because like Squealer had done the whole brainwashing to tell them that they were a rat. So
Right.
they were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm a rat. I can kill all these people, no matter."
When I first watched this though, like the whole mirror thing that Saki was doing, I thought that was initially gonna have an effect, and
Yeah,
like
and then
it
it
was
did-
gonna be like, oh man, I am a human, and I can't kill people anymore. But it was just
Yeah.
like, nah, fuck that.
Hey.
That's ugly. What is that? That's not me.
That's not me. Who's using this mind manipulation?
Dude, the poison thing, like that whole scene
Yeah.
with the poison, the anthrax. I was
Oh,
like, "Come
man.
on, dude.
Yeah,
Why did this have to happen?"
That pissed me off so much.
I mean,
I
Okay.
mean, it pissed me off, but I mean, like I get why she did it.
Yeah, I get it. It was just,
It
I
still
was
doesn't
like,
make it right.
Saki, why did you fucking do that? Why?
Sucky, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, and then like Satoru was pretty upset too because I don't know. Well, maybe not that upset, but like when she was explaining to him, like, "Oh, I'm sorry about what happened, but I did it because," he was like, "Yeah, I know."
But,
But-
I get, but it's still not okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been like, dude, you,
you fucked
dude,
us.
the fucking, what's his name again? Yakomaru or
Squealer?
the rat?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
fucking
No,
the
ripped
the
wolf
Kiromaru.
man.
Wolf rat.
Yeah, Kiromaru.
Fucking,
Dude,
yeah,
wolf
fucking
man.
badass bat dookie man.
I love that guy
The
so
best
much.
character in the show.
I loved him. It
I'm
was
just
it was
gonna-
cool when
Not
he fought.
Digimon.
Not
He
Digimon.
just takes off his clothes and then he just covers himself in
And
mud and
shit.
he's like,
Yeah,
"This
no,
is
he
how
was
I
covering
want
himself
it."
in
it was
shit.
shit.
It was shit. Yeah, it was shit. Yeah,
Bat shit.
Oh, man. See, that rat is fucking batshit. He's literally
dude,
batshit.
he's batshit insane.
He let himself die for the greater good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I was actually like genuinely more upset when he died than
Yeah.
when anybody else
Yeah,
died.
I
was
felt
like,
for him
man.
because like throughout the series, you kept thinking like not very much of him, and I kept thinking he was gonna betray them.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
kept making you think that, and then he dies for them, and I'm like, dude, that
Dude,
was the
that-
real dude.
The
He
real
was the
hero
real-
has
Yeah,
just died.
but yeah, he didn't do it for them though. He did it because he wanted to ensure that his colony would be alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if he, I mean, yeah, there was no guarantee.
Yeah, because like after that, it's like, all right, after this shit's over, you're going to murder every single rat. And he's like,
Please
if I do this, at least keep my colony alive.
And they're like, okay, I'll try.
I'll try my best, but you know the committee.
Fingers
All
crossed.
paperwork, you know.
Because the board of ethics is a bunch of assholes,
Oh man,
Yeah.
they're like the most like bureaucratic
pretentious
assholes you can
assholes.
think of. Yeah,
And it's made heavily apparent when they put Squealer on,
On
trial.
trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I fucking hated it so much. I hated them so
That's
bad.
that's my favorite part.
I laughed, but I was like, I was laughing, but I was like, these people are dicks.
When
just to kind of backtrack a little bit, where the board of ethics like really pissed me off was when they were asking Saki like what happened, and she was like, "Well, he left because you assholes tried to kill him," and they were just like saying, "Oh, like what the hell's wrong with you, you stupid little girl? Like you're taunting us now or something?" And I was like, "What? No, you fucking assholes know what's going on." That's when it pissed me off.
And at the end, when Squida was telling him, one day there's gonna be somebody that comes by and this and that, and is gonna take care of you or whatever. And then they showed the silhouette of I think Satoru or something coming through. I genuinely thought that was gonna be somebody that was gonna go inside and kill everybody in
and
the
kill
ethics
them?
committee. Yeah. And it wasn't, but
I
whatever.
mean,
It
I
still-
feel like it
still
was just like implications as to the future because Satoru
Yeah.
was the only one that understood anything, and Saki was like, "Nah, let's just keep our heads low."
And so they kept him as a
Let's just
as
make
a
babies.
fucking husk of meat.
They turned
Con-
him
I like
inside
how
out.
they put him in the
In a display
In
case.
the museum.
They put him in the Museum of War, and they're like, and this is the traitor. Fucking Toby.
He's still suffering to this
Here's a
day.
stick if you want to poke him.
Yeah, dude, I was like, holy.
He's very much alive, and he will feel you poking him.
He can't die, and he will feel it a lot.
Oh God, they kept him suffering for years and years.
Yeah.
Didn't she kill him at the end?
Yeah,
like in
she
the,
set him
in
on
the
fire.
epilogue?
She said
Yeah.
that he had suffered enough after she found out about, the whole rats being humans before being
I
rats.
just fucking Satoru, dude. Like he was just sitting there, like rats equal people, and he's like, I understand. I mean, it's not like the fucking computers in Tokyo didn't spell that out for you specifically or anything.
The technology doesn't exist, Mike. Come on. The only technology he needs is his mind, man.
I can understand why nobody wants to go to Tokyo though, with those fucking centipedes with the
those-
Oni
Yeah,
masks on.
just go during the
Those are
day. It's
fucking
fine.
terrifying.
God,
And then there was those worms that made themselves look like talismans. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a fucking hellscape.
I liked that they told the story from her, essentially like her prepubescence up to where, I don't know, how old was she like at the end? Like
30.
30?
I'm
Yeah.
assuming she was in her 30s.
Yeah.
She was 30 something.
I like that it's
36, I think.
I like that it spanned for so long, and it like took a little time in between to show her growth. Essentially, I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
They handled time skips pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not something where it's just like, oh well, now she's this, and that's
What's
why.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I think like one of the things for sure that this show did really well was just like the setting. Like, it's really different and very original compared to a lot of other shit that we're used to seeing with anime.
Uh-huh.
For one thing, they didn't have 500 Yoda lolly against Michael's wishes. And,
Against
Against my
Michael's-
wishes,
against Michael's
it
greatest
didn't
wishes.
happen. But I was.
They,
fine
they,
with
it was probably they probably had a meeting and they're like, should we have a 500-year-old lolly or
or a
a
20-year-old.
67-year-old that looks like a 20-year-old?
And I'm sure there were plenty of advocates for the lollies. It was probably like a 50-50 split, and they probably flipped a coin. But
I'm like, nah, this show's a little too serious for that.
then the lollies were like, come on, man, you guys have rat people, and you can't have a lolly.
And Mike cried a little that day without knowing why.
He was laying in bed, and he wiped his cheek off, and he was like, why am I crying? I guess God doesn't love me today.
I'm just curious as to the extent of those abilities. That's all I wanted to know.
I'm telling you, she could regenerate her hymen, and she could do whatever she wants. So tell me about
Was
the
a
music.
Tsunade thing where she gets older and she looks
Oh.
younger?
I guess while we're in the topic too,
About
one of the
breaking
things that I thought
hymens?
was really what? No, the regeneration, Nuni.
Ah,
When she was explaining like the whole thing about like repairing her chromosomes or some shit like that,
her hymen.
and she basically told Saki like, "Oh, I'm gonna teach you how to do that." I don't know. I just thought it was really cool that it seems like anybody within that society could have that ability, but she kind of she kept it.
Yeah,
a
she was
secret.
she was just like
the
breaking the glasses.
Yeah, she's
Well,
like,
yeah,
she's
she
like
was-
fixing a vase.
Yeah, she was testing her with the whole vase thing. She's like, "Yeah, you did the vase thing really good, so you have an aptitude for this."
Yeah, you just put the
It
glue
was,
on there.
yeah, it was like the Kung Fu Kid kind of thing where it's like, oh, you're just fixing vases, but you're actually fixing your chromosomes.
Yeah,
Did
well,
she
they
tell
were
her-
saying that they were like giving them tasks that were like supposed to be like teaching them stuff or like what they
Yeah.
planned for them.
Yeah.
Like that, Satoru kept making mirrors because they kept telling him to make mirrors in class. That's why he kept making mirrors throughout like the area because that's what like the thing he was really good at.
Dude,
Yeah,
you know
Like,
what I
we're
can
really
do?
good at making mirrors.
Because they knew that later on he would need to see over corners with those.
Yeah.
Satoru, you do that thing you can do. Oh, okay.
What's this have to do with science? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was like the one skill they were training him in really well.
Yeah.
Mirrors.
I'm sure there was some science sprinkled in during the time skip thing, but whatever.
Well, I mean, he did become a fucking biologist.
Yeah. So tell me
So the
about this music. Yeah.
Good music. I love the
First intro.
like the You mean outro? Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Loved it. Fucking great.
Yeah.
I didn't as much love
Nice.
the second outro, but I thought it
Second
was
one
okay.
wasn't as good.
I don't
but-
even remember
Yeah.
that one. I just finished watching it.
I like that.
It's not memorable, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. But definitely the first one, really,
Was
really
really
good
good.
song.
Yeah.
It's on
And
my
it-
playlist twice.
Damn, 2 different names.
I really didn't like the in music where like the chanting kids that kept popping up everywhere, and I just
Yeah,
got
I
really
liked it,
tired
and
of
then it got too repetitive.
yeah, it lost all meaning.
I like
like.
a lot of the background music, but not
Yes,
all
the
of it.
background music was for the most part really good.
Yeah, it was like I think my favorite track is the one like where like they would be doing like something during actiony. Like I think the first time I heard it was when Saki did get captured by the rat people at the beginning. The whole
Yeah,
music that
like-
was playing while they were there.
Yeah, when they're getting like chased.
Yeah, when they're getting chased, like that music was like the chase music, the action music was really good.
It had really good action music for a show that, I mean, I guess it had a lot
Wasn't
of action.
entirely
but
focused
it
on
wasn't
action.
entirely focused on
Yeah.
action.
Oh yeah. What did you guys think about like the whole Maria and Mamoru fiasco? Like about them running away and whatnot.
I'm sure that they got trapped. Whatever.
I mean, what
They were
thinking-
taken
Like,
in
I don't
by
know,
the
like, what was
rats
your
and
opinion
then
on it as far
murdered.
as, like when it happened, like were you I don't know, were you guys aware of like it being their ultimate demise, or did you?
Oh
guys
no,
think
I
that
knew
was
for sure they were
actually
gonna
be-
die.
Yeah,
Like as
I-
soon
I
as they
think
were
it's all
like,
they were there.
yeah, as soon
Mostly
as like they were
'cause
like,
nobody
we're leaving.
fucking trusts fucking
Rat
like
people.
everybody knows that fucking Yakamura was a fucking asshole and he's gonna
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have known he was gonna fucking betray them. There's no way he wasn't.
When they first ran away and they found that one rat guy, I was like, well, what could this one guy possibly do?
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on. And then they didn't show up, and I was like, oh well, I guess this guy could do a lot of things.
Fucking,
How did Squealer
made him
get
disappear.
access to like I know he had one of those the library things or the
False
The false Minoshiro?
yeah, he had one of those and he was getting information from it, I believe, right?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean,
They
Yeah.
implied that
he-
a lot, but they never
yeah,
actually.
I'm pretty sure
did.
he said he read it in a book.
Yeah.
But then,
yeah.
what's her name? Saki was like, that couldn't possibly be. I'm pretty sure he
because
just
the
captured
books
a
were
false
destroyed.
Minoshiro. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the books were destroyed. That
Yeah,
had,
because I
like,
mean, he was doing
forbidden
shit like
knowledge.
building concrete and fucking making samurai armor.
They
and
made
shit.
guns.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
he
guns,
learned.
too.
Yeah, he learned a shit ton of like warfare knowledge.
got gunpowder.
He learned
He
about
learned
equality.
strategy. Yeah, strategies. He learned equality, economy. Like he learned a bunch of shit.
He
He
learned
got
how to what's the thing called whenever they drill a hole in the side of your temple. He learned
Oh,
lobotomy.
lobotomy?
Yeah, he learned
Yeah.
lobotomy for the queens.
Man, dude, that was disgusting.
That was fucked up. But he was like, "Ah, yes, we've lobotomized the queen. Why? Well, you see,
She needs to make
she was
babies, but she
crazy.
doesn't need to live.
She needs to make babies, but
Yeah,
she's
like-
a crazy fuck. So we decided to cut out the middleman, and here we are."
So, would it be possible for some of the babies that they stole in the beginning to somehow, hide in some of the rat colonies that they did destroy?
No, I'm pretty sure they did like a pretty
Thorough search.
extermination of everything.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure they went and massacred all the rats.
Yeah,
But
like
what
I said,
about
like
the giant hornet colony?
They were the ones that were annihilated.
I mean,
No, they weren't. Well,
No.
yeah, but
Yeah, they were.
The only
Yeah,
ones
they
that
were.
By the
were
ogre.
Their fighting forces annihilated, but like they're like
The
labor
queen.
force and the queen,
Yeah.
the queen, which is the
Yeah.
important one. Was
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
yeah, that's why like Yakamura is like, yeah, say don't let them kill my mom.
don't let them
Please.
kill my mommy.
please.
Yeah.
I might.
I really enjoyed the style in the ending, but also like a lot of the, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Artistic choices that they made in the anime, where it wasn't all just like just drawn and colored. They actually made some stylistic choices with the contrast of whatever they were showing and some of the different animation, I guess, coloring techniques.
Yeah, you could tell like when they're like in the snow area, like the way stuff sticks out
Yeah.
from like the white.
I really love the snowy backdrops that they had in the show. They look really good.
I think the only like animation problem that I had was when they were doing a lot of action stuff, and you could tell that
The frames are dropping.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, this isn't really a big deal. Let's just let's skip a few frames. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, like they focus
fast, so it's
they
gonna
focus
skip
more on
immediately.
like
Yeah.
on just showing the whole,
The story as a
scene.
whole, not the
Yeah. Like
not
I mean,
just
I think one of the best how do I put it? Like one of the best areas that they drew and stuff were the warped areas that Shin was affecting.
yeah,
Like
that,
where
that
everything
looks
was
super
twisting
great.
and turning.
Yeah.
That looked fucking amazing, especially when she entered his bubble.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked cool as fuck.
Did you guys notice like all the CGI stuff too?
I
Yeah.
like the stupid rat people CGI.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
it was great.
With her having their little war.
Yeah, them having their little war, and every time it showed like a big group of rat people, I
Yeah.
was just waiting for this CGI, and I was like, oh man, I love how stupid this looks. It didn't look like horrible, but it
Yeah, it just looks silly.
it just looks silly. I really liked it. I don't think I was supposed to like it in the way that I liked it, but
yeah.
I did. So I wasn't like watching it for a second time.
It was honestly mostly the same for me. Like I mean, I enjoyed what I did enjoy, and I kind of like hated like the filler drawn out parts.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like rewatching it, I was like, man, why don't I remember this? And then I was like, oh, because nothing fucking happened. That's why. But
I mean, there's like small parts like that, but I think it's just like that you already
It's
know
mostly-
what's gonna happen. So
right.
Yeah, so you're waiting for it to get to that point. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I want them to grow up already or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get to the here's the gay part.
It's like, man, this gay part is pretty long. They just keep making out.
They just keep
I
being
really
gay.
hope it doesn't get to the next episode. The next episode ended, and now they have a bit of problems with each other because she likes him, but he likes him, and yeah. And now Shun is crazy.
And now shit is crazy.
Like Captain appeal to the show is like it makes you want to be like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
When you're watching it the second time, you know. So
You know it's gonna
Right.
happen. So
Yeah, as far as for me watching it this first time, I thoroughly enjoyed like marathoning through it because I was like, oh man, there's so much going on, and I don't know what's gonna happen because
Yeah.
I mean, I have small ideas of what's gonna happen here or there, but like not
Yeah.
through the entire story itself.
It always
they do a
keeps
lot-
you
they do a
wanting
lot of
more.
cliffhangers. They always send on
Yeah.
cliffhangers to be like, oh shit, this guy appeared.
I would have hated or maybe hated, I'm not too sure, watching it week to week.
Oh, I also really like that they didn't have an opening.
Yeah, I
fucking
enjoyed
love
that
that.
for the most part.
Yeah, it was just like,
It
oh,
just
like,
jumps
blah,
in.
blah, blah. Yeah, then it's like, boop.
And I like sometimes where they waited until the very end to put the title card in. And then like the ending would start and I was like, oh, that was beautiful. Yay.
The weird part is they did have an opening, but only on one episode.
I
I
think
don't even remember.
I think I counted 2. But I think one of the ones that I was counting was just background music that they started right away.
They did like
Was
an
it-
actual like opening like on one episode where they did like a like
They
Swedish-
showed
Yeah,
the
wasn't it
characters
that
running into the
transitional one?
sunset and they all jumped
Yeah,
at the same
they're-
time.
Yeah, and then
It was
at
like
the
one
end, they were all
basically
just
with a
hugging
dead
each
time
other.
skip, wasn't it?
No, it was just like randomly there.
Was it? Oh fuck, never mind. I don't know.
Out of convenience, I watched some of the episodes in English.
So
Oh.
I was gonna ask that also because the only place that I could find where to watch it in English was some streaming site that I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Kiss, but it was some other one, and
Yeah.
I think that was all fan made. I'm not too sure because I
You
just
think
watched
so?
the first episode.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
And-
think that there is an official dub of this, is there?
I mean it's distributed by Sentai Filmworks, but I'm not too sure if they do dubs or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was that one?
Well, you know, I don't gauge dubbing as bad as some people. Like some people, they're like, "Oh, I'll never listen to it because you know English is terrible." Since I come
Juan's talking
from,
about me.
well, Yes, I am. But
See,
but also I don't gauge it as bad or as hard because coming from watching cartoons and a lot of shows from Mexico where they're all dubbed, and I see the progress of how they did really shitty, terrible dubbing to like what they do now. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like the dubbing on this one. This was really not. I want to say pretty amateurish.
garbage. He says terrible.
Trash. He wants to fucking flush it along with this shit.
No, I'm gonna say it's just pretty amateurish.
I only watched.
It was a fan dub then that you were.
Yeah, I only watched the first episode dubbed, only to go like I said earlier, to actually go back and be like, was that girl actually there? and I told myself, well, since I'm already going back, I might as well just watch it in English and see if it exists. And it wasn't that great. It sounded like adults doing little kid voices, and I was like, yeah, okay. I'm not. I'll see if anybody else watched it. Otherwise, we'll just not talk about it.
Yeah, I think the voice actor for Satoru, is I think the same voice actor for Kensuke from Rebuild, Evangelion.
I'll make sure.
And
I'll check in a little bit, but
For the English dub or the English sub?
The
Or
English
for
dub.
the okay.
Greg Ayers,
Maybe.
we'll see. You keep talking about how much you think this dub is pretty amateurish.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the speaking parts didn't really have that much character in them. They didn't have a lot of emotion. Granted, what a lot of the episodes, a lot of the animes, when they do dubbing like that, sometimes that's what people complain about. But at least they try, they emphasize and all that stuff in some animes. This one really didn't do that much.
What's his face? Stereotypical silent kid, guy with a lot of power. What's his name? Shun.
Shun, yeah.
Yeah, his voice sounds exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Like a whisper, like a whispering of Kirito like character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the adults were as bad too because they tried to make them sound like they were like higher up.
They tried to make them sound like this.
Yes, and I was like, God damn, this is terrible.
So I'm looking it up right now, and apparently Sentai does do dubs, and everyone agrees that they're all terrible.
All right. The internet
I should go
agrees
work
that
for
it's
them.
That's
shit.
what I got from the internet.
I should go work for them.
Yeah, Mike, just build
Either that
up your
or
repertoire.
Juan wrote this.
Okay, and it also came out on the Anime Network. I don't know if it's still around, but it used to be. So I guess it had to be dubbed if it came out on that network. So maybe it wasn't a fan dub. What I heard, maybe that was the actual dub. And I feel pretty bad for the show. But I digress.
I was actually What was the question? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I was gonna say
the question was a period.
Oh, okay. No, I was actually about to, because I was looking over something real quick because I wanted to double check. Evidently, I was a little off on the explanation for the ending where I said that Satoru was like, yeah, I know about the rats or whatever.
Yeah.
What happened
People
actually
equals
was that Saki was like sitting in one of the destroyed classrooms, and she's like looking at the scientific name for the queer rats and for humans, and she was like, it's kind of weird that they're similar. And then Satoru's like, nah, that's just a coincidence. And she's like, but look at it, it's really weird. And he's like, all right, yes, I know. And then he goes on like a long explanation as to like how they're actually people
doing this.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, these are people, and he's like, I didn't even have to do research for this, but I did anyways. And yeah, they're people. And she's like, this is terrible. He's like, well, what are you gonna do?
No, he actually said that it was forbidden to do research on it. That,
Yeah.
You're not.
You're not supposed to, but he still looked into it.
Yeah, he's like queer rats have 32 chromosomes.
23 chromosomes.
Oh, 23,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then people have 23.
Yeah, he's like another organism that has 23 chromosomes is an olive branch, and I was thinking, queer rats come from olive branches.
And then he was like, but they can't come from olive branches.
But yeah, he also brings up the whole thing with how he's like, what the fuck happened to the non PK users? She's like, well, they obviously died. He's like, well, why? She's like, well, natural selection. And he's like, it doesn't work that way. How the fuck were people alive without PK? And she's like, oh, you're right. And then
Yeah.
And they never said anything ever again.
they never.
And then they made
never
babies.
bring it
And then
up.
they
And
made
then
babies. And they said, to those 1,000 years into the future, if you're reading this, blah, 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 blah.
You're fucked.
I also
It
liked,
It was just a story about how Satoru scored.
pretty much.
We're going to carry this
Scored
deep, dark
funny.
secret with us.
Like getting rid of everybody else. Who might have
He
been
literally outlasted the competition. And that's how he won. That is
See-
the story of how
you
Dude,
see,
Satoru
even
won.
best girl
Sorry.
Maria.
Ah. Ah.
Maria
she
didn't
was-
stand
she
too much
was
of
a girl.
chance.
I'll give you that. She was a girl.
And
She
Satoru
was
did like
she was
guys
my
and
best
girls.
girl.
You know who my best girl was? Mamoru. He was my favorite girl.
I thought he was a girl for the longest time.
Dude,
So did I.
I did too, and then they're like, Mamoru's a sensitive boy. I was like, whoa, hold on there.
Dude, I
You
felt
just
sorry
take a
for him
step
in the
back.
gay episode.
Oh yeah,
He
because
was
everybody's
just like
afraid they're
drawing
so
her.
far.
Yeah, and then they just like run off to go fucking do a Yuri
No.
makeouts and shit. He's
No,
just sitting
I'm
there
laughing
drawing.
when I'm laughing when he's like drawing her, and then Saki goes up to him and is like, "Hey, aren't you tired of being a cuck?" And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
and he just looks down and he just keeps drawing.
Saki was a bitch as a kid.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, how long are you gonna be just waiting for Mari? She knows she's with me," and then. Yeah, and then they go off to Yuri.
As much as they do a lot of the gay pairing, they said that it's not an official pairing unless it's a guy and a girl.
For what? Like in the show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean like
within
in
the
the
society,
end,
though,
in
like-
the end, Mari did choose the
What?
kid.
But
the
only
guy,
because
the
she
boy.
felt sorry for him. And
It
she
doesn't
wanted to
matter.
take
She
care of him.
still chose.
I want to be taken care of, my.
him.
Oh,
She still
Mondo.
chose him and walked
Mondo was
off
like,
with
I would
him.
have taken her better care of her.
Well, you know
She
what?
would've to Walmart.
I would have killed those rat people. I wouldn't have let them take us and make us fuck.
It really was the worst couple of people you could send out into the wilderness because you had
I don't know
you
about
had the fuck
couple of
boy,
people.
you had the weed fuck boy, and then you had the fucking the troubled girl that wasn't sure if she was a lesbian or a fucking heterosexual.
But
She
she
Mike,
could
she
fly,
could
Mike.
fly, Mike. She could have gotten. She would have gotten away.
She was so useless though.
I'm sorry. She
didn't
could.
need
She could
legs.
jump really far, Mike.
In all honesty, the only competent people in Saki's group were Satoru and Shun, and Shun died. And
Not
I mean,
by
he didn't
choice.
have to die. He could have
Oh,
very
wait,
well
yeah,
killed.
it was by
He
choice. That's
thought
right.
himself to
He
death.
he killed himself because I thought that was the trippiest shit where they're like, yeah, your mom gave me these suicide pills, but the moment I took them, my body deconstructed them, and
I
I'm
didn't
into
die.
Level.
I didn't die. I'm like, god damn, dude.
I like that they alluded to Saki telling him, don't take those. Those are suicide pills or whatever. Because I think she said that it was aspirin or something.
It was when she was talking to her mother, I think her mom alluded to it, or she had found out that in the book or whatever, or that I don't remember. She had a conversation with her mom, and I think her mom finally said yes, I gave him fucking suicide pills or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she ran out there and she's like, don't take them. He's like, I took half
I
the bottle already.
I took them all, Saki. I took them all
took them
because I
all
knew
and-
you were coming.
And shit didn't happen.
So
But the
no,
dog
And then
died,
the
though.
puppy. What was his name? I
the
forgot.
puppy.
The puppy that he
There's something there,
mutated.
Samaru, something like
I
that.
don't
Subaru.
know.
Subaru. He was
there
a
you
car.
The car.
Like the car. Or RE0.
Or RE0.
Yeah.
Dude, the dog, it fucking
Yeah,
got
I don't
all
know. I
fucking
thought it was
mutated.
kind of adorable that he just refused to leave him alone and kept coming back even though he was
Dude, the dog loved him,
everything
dude.
around them into disgusting
Turn into a
shit.
Pokemon?
It was like a rock-like dog now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned into a fucking golem, dude.
Mondo told him, "I wish I had that dog. I would have loved that dog."
I would have loved that dog.
I would have loved that, dude. I honestly wish Shun would have lived, or at least sealed himself off in the bubble or something.
No,
instead
he's alive in our hearts, Mike. It's okay.
I wanted him to live
alive.
because I wanted to see the extent of someone that has no limiter and is like that. Because like they I forgot, didn't they say that you could become even worse than a fiend?
I believe so.
Wait,
But,
he
I
didn't.
mean,
He didn't turn into a fiend though. He
he-
turned into a karmic demon.
Well, that's what a fiend was. There was two
Was it?
definitions. Yeah, like
Yeah,
one
what's an
translation was
ogre?
fiend. Yeah,
Yeah.
ogre. It was ogre, fiend, and then karma demon. Like they were all the same shit.
Oh, was
Or
it?
no, I think
no,
karma demon
ogre's
was the final.
No, it's Karma Demon and Fiend. They're the same thing. They have different names for it.
Oh, okay.
Ogre is the name for when the little boy, girl, son,
Yeah.
Maria.
Ogre.
Fiend is
Yeah.
basically when they've gone crazy and just need to kill everything, and then the karmic demon is like the passively making everything degenerate.
Or it's like when you have no money and you can't get your fix.
What? Sure. Yeah.
That story that they told about the fiends actually creeped me out the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
like
that
where
hobo
like
that
the
died
kids
in
are
the
running on the bridge, and then
The animation
the
creeped me out.
fiend just starts. Yeah, dude, that was some weird shit. The fiend's just chasing after him. I was like, holy shit.
Wait, was that the one of the kid that like they killed? The doctor killed?
No, it was the one
No,
where
no,
he
it was like they
crossing
were
the
telling a
bridge?
story in class, and like
Yeah,
it was
at
about
the
a boy
very
that
beginning.
went past the boundary. It was about a boy that went past the boundary, and they're like, and he was playing in the boundary, and then a fiend came, and he tried running
and
away,
in order
like,
to protect the village, he cut the bridge off in half while he was still on it.
yeah, because the fiend was chasing after him.
And then a little bit
Yeah.
later on in that episode, they show you the bridge, and it has a bunch of bandanas on it or something like that.
Yeah,
And that's part of like I guess the brainwashing and conditioning that they're doing.
yeah, like they have to give physical they have to give you like examples so that you can see it and be like, oh shit, this is real. Because it's all a ploy to make them good people in society.
Rats are people.
Ningen dayo.
All right, guys. It's a little bit deep in, considering the length of the usual podcast. So, how many? Let's rate this.
Bonobos.
How many bonobo rat people would you give this out of 5?
I enjoyed this. So I'd say like a 4.
I too give it 4 bonobos. Having an orgy.
I give it 4.5 bonobos. Mostly because I feel like it did have its imperfections, so I can't rate it a 5, but I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and I thoroughly enjoyed it a second time, and I still think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5. Also, I don't know, it's still really good original story.
It is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm usually one that's like, what's the word I'm looking for? A bitch about giving things like a lot of stars because I'm a bitch. But I told myself, well, I'm probably gonna give it a 4.7 or 4.5. But no, I'll give it a 5. I'll give it 5 stars because
The elusive 5 Noonie rating.
yeah, the bonobo ratmen
It's the first time it's
Fucking
ever happened.
Soylent
dude.
Green is people
Ratman,
rating.
stacked keto model.
stacks.
Dude,
keto.
why was he so fucking built, dude?
I don't know. He's out of all of them, he's the only one that looks like that.
No,
I thought like
funny
he was
'cause it was
gonna.
He makes me want to be a rat person.
It's funny because it was like his army was all like tiny little shits, and then it's like him
Yeah.
standing above him.
And then you got him, and you're like, God damn, dude! Like, was what the fuck?
What
I thought
really
he was a
bothered me-
werewolf though.
I thought he
Yeah,
was a wolf
rats.
too, but no, he's just a derivative of a rat. He's
What?
just he was born better.
he was born.
He was
better.
born better.
What really bothered me is that like nobody even had like the same facial features as him or something like.
Yeah, he was
it would've
completely
Yeah.
unique. In
Yeah, it would have made more
everything.
sense if like there was like little rats with longer snouts like him or something.
And they also had like cool long hair.
Man, look at me, I'm so cool.
Nah, you see, the mother was like, we must birth a god, and so they they created.
Yeah.
He was like the fucking the closest to human that the rats came.
Yeah, well, like what I don't get is like were the other creatures also like kind of rats, like the other creatures that are helping the rats out, were they also like part rat, or were they just like creatures they captured somehow?
I don't know actually.
Because like when they're kids and they're like, oh no, it's the moles, and here's the rabbits. And
Oh
the,
yeah, because the moles
frogs.
talked, right? The moles talked.
There was one that was like really weird. It was when they were going down the river like late. It was Satoru.
Yeah, that
and
one.
Saki,
Yeah, that was the one, and it was talking
big-ass
and
bird fish thing, and like it started spraying out the smoke. She said that it was a rat.
Yeah, that's what I'm
referred to it
saying,
as
like-
a rat. Yeah,
maybe
Like,
they were.
Like they were like rats, and I don't know how.
yeah.
they do
I
it,
feel
but
like
I
maybe
mean,
they were
could-
just like different mutations of it or something. And
That might have been like they were experimenting with what they could turn the people into, and they're like, "Hey, look, a bird, a mole, a rat."
Look what I made, guys.
Still, though, that sea centipede is the thing of nightmares.
Okay. So the false Minoshiro. What the fuck was that? Was that something made by like
It was
the
It
old
was something
humans, or was that-
disgusting and adorable.
It was a
They-
sea slug.
Yeah, they said it's a sea slug that
That
just
they mutated.
That they programmed
With a
into a
dictionary.
library.
That had
Yeah.
800 what was it, petabytes of information.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
information. For some reason, they stored them in sea slugs.
They're just so advanced. It's
Yeah.
like earlier, like making a record. They just talked into the sea slug and kept like scratching it while they talked.
But yeah, it was weird that they chose that as the shape of this container of vast forbidden knowledge. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, but it's weird because like they didn't say that they were originally sea slugs. That they just got turned into sea slugs by the subconscious of like the humanity.
yeah.
That's
like,
right, and they were also
PKs.
roaming around randomly too, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
So like, like they're just there.
When I first saw the sea slug, or the false Minoshiro, I was expecting it to like transform into some like fierce looking scary thing, and it never did.
And
It just stayed all squishy.
It just stayed
Oh yeah.
squishy, cute
What
thing.
was like really fucked up about it was that whenever it would burn or whenever they burned it, it had like that weird defense mechanism to like
Yeah,
make it
we're
look like it
a
was
silhouette of a
person.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so weird. Like,
I mean,
holy
it was
shit.
meant so that the people couldn't force knowledge out of it, and it would only tell shit to people who were approved.
And even then, the false Minoshiro can like freaking do whatever it wants.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
has its own consciousness. Like it can be like, I guess I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, these things are really bad as libraries. They just give
Yeah.
information to whoever. They
Yeah.
care more about self-preservation than the.
Then protecting knowledge. Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
they're like, you give me more energy, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
They're like, listen, I'm just a sea slug.
I'm but a simple sea slug.
Come on, man, you don't want to kill me, dude.
But yeah, like I enjoyed, like I said, I expected something different when they went to Tokyo, but I wasn't disappointed. Like it was cool seeing like the ruins and like all the warped shit and like
The
all the
fucking
crazy monsters.
The
The,
slugs
the
creep the fuck out of me
vampire
out.
slugs.
Fucking
Yeah.
roaches,
Yeah, they
dude.
fucking just fall from the ceiling and shit.
The ones that tripped me out were the worms that were shaped like talismans, and they had to use the fire to scare them off. I was like, God, dude, this is what the fuck?
Which
Oh,
one
yeah,
are those?
that's like the big shadow. You mean?
Yeah, the big shadow thing too.
Where it's like I don't know what you're talking about. I just remember like there was like a shadow, like those are a bunch of tiny microisms.
Yeah,
just
they
moving
were.
together.
Yeah,
Black
they fucking
Widow
eat
mites.
everything. They eat everything.
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 Oh no.
But no, the thing that tripped me out the most was definitely the centipede thing. It could fucking swim, and it had a Oni mask on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was weird.
I was watching it on my phone at that time, and I couldn't really tell. Like, I saw that it had a face, so I couldn't actually see it. So I can't tell you. if
Yeah,
I
it,
agree
it
nor
wore an
do I
Oni
disagree.
mask on it, and it was fucking weird.
All right, Mando, get the phone.
Get the what?
I mean,
Get
get
the
the
fun?
get the wheel.
Oh,
Get the
fuck.
fun. Get the fun wheel.
Why don't you tell me to do this beforehand?
You're supposed to be prepared. I'm busy looking for fucking what's his face,
slugs?
Kirumaru Dojins.
Oh. Oh yeah.
I haven't found one. I found one with Squida though.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know, Kiramaru does look like a Digimon.
He
Who
looks
does
like
he look
Leomon.
like though?
Dude, he's fucking
Leomon.
Leomon.
Yeah.
And he died just like Leomon.
In a blaze of glory.
Should we let Jose spin it?
Yeah, Jose. You gotta tell him how to do it though.
All right.
But,
well, first, you gotta... What?
Hold on. Let me go to random number generator.
We gotta actually turn on the wheel. I forgot. Hold on.
Yeah. Hold on. Just give Mando a little bit though. Okay. The 1 through. Put the numbers of 1 through 25, Mando.
Oh sure.
Boop,
Let me
boop,
just
boop,
doop,
beep,
doop.
All right. Do it.
So first you gotta turn this knob over to the left, but never to the right, and then turn this one over to the left, and then you gotta push these 3 buttons at the same time while stepping on this foot pedal, and then it'll turn.
I think I messed up.
He turned it to the right.
Hey, it worked anyways.
Oh no.
Is it broken?
So we're doing Elfin Lead. That's what it landed on, right, Mondo?
I don't know. Whatever that is.
All right.
Elfin Lee.
So
I was telling myself and died.
I thought it was Elfin Lied too, but everyone calls it Lead, so I just call it Lead.
I heard it pronounced on TV as Lead, so I've been calling it Lead. But when
What-
I mean,
saw
that's
it,
like
it
people
was
that
Lied.
call manga manga though, so
What-
I don't
what-
really know.
What does the title even mean?
It's German.
Yeah, it's German. Or some.
It means trickster elf or something like that.
Yeah, or Trickster
There's actually a
Cat or
poem.
something.
Yeah, there's actually a poem that's called Elfin Lied.
What?
It was.
Lead
Wasn't it
is
like
German
a
for
song
song?
also though?
Yeah. Originally denoted in classical music, the setting of German poems to music.
Yeah, it has exactly everything to do with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it means art song is. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense in an ambiguous perspective.
Yeah. You know, she's finger painting.
Yeah.
All right, so the next anime that we're going to be doing is Elfin Lied, something that most of us has watched. I think the only people that haven't watched is I think Mike said he hasn't watched it,
I have not watched it.
and Juan has Juan watched it?
I watched the majority of it.
Okay.
I watched it when I used to go to school in Alpine in the summer.
And you'd stay awake until 4 a.m, and you saw the first 4 episodes, and you were like, "Whoa,
Well,
naked
I
chicks
used
tearing
to
people apart."
no, I used to watch it with this Mexican dude. Like he was like, "Do you like anime?" I was
Me
like, "Yeah,
too.
sure." He's like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "You want to watch Elfin Lied?" I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Here, I'll show you," and we watched it.
My Mexican
Gather
dude's
round,
on this
children.
podcast.
And then he told you you're going to be doing this in a few years later in a podcast, and you were like, "What?"
That's crazy talk. I'd never stoop that low.
And here we are. But if you, I guess it's time to say goodbye, guys. If you want to reach us at,
So long, farewell.
if you want to reach us in any way, go ahead and for our email, you can email us at mbtpodcast@gmail.com. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/mbtpodcast. And on the Twitters, you can find us at Magical Broadcast. Oh God, somebody's dying.
Was that
Was it
us
Juan?
or was that?
No, I'm here.
I think that also says.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I was like, I don't know.
Nah, it's
I mean, I'm still under the impression that our apartment might be haunted after that one time.
What?
Hmm?
What happened?
The doors locked themselves.
Ooh.
Like I wasn't inside, and the doors like locked, and Noonie couldn't get into the apartment.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck's happening?
I also forgot my
I-
key.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh,
Huh?
wasn't it when like Alan broke in because
No, that was
that was
last
yesterday.
night. That was last
Oh.
night. That was last night where Alan had to break in, and like I was like, they're gonna call the cops on us because I spent like 15 minutes trying to jimmy the door open with a credit
No,
card.
you think they were going to call the cops on you? I was outside a few weeks ago trying to break into my van because I locked the keys inside. I had a clothes hanger.
That.
I had a clothes hanger, and it was inside the fucking window, and I kept trying to pull it up until finally the clothes hanger broke after like 20 minutes.
Is that why you were so mad? Because I remember you came inside, and I was like, "How'd it go, Noonie?" And you're like, "Don't worry about it, Mike." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. And then I called my dad, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Noonie." And I was like, "All right, I'm glad I told Mike not to worry about it, so I don't have to worry about it." We had a spring. But anyway, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.